Brothers, welcome back to another video. If you're a man who's struggling to build trust in your relationship and that's actually causing you some heartbreak or causing some damage, this video is for you. Let's get into things. So guys, I want to lay out the foundation of this video by letting you guys know a few things. A, you're not able to have that trust that you're looking for because of something that you're doing. B, it's because of something coming from the other party. Maybe it's just someone that just has trust issues and they have some stuff they need to deal with. So we're going to be focusing on helping you to build trust if it's something that you're responsible for. Now, if you need more help, a little bit more about your partner, stuff like that, we have a free school community of guys living up their relationships. Be sure to join, links below. But let's get into this, guys. So if you are struggling to build trust in your relationship and it's because something you're doing, odds are the things you say are not congruent with what you're doing, right? Because a lot of times when people are trustworthy, you can trust their words, meaning that when they say something, you expect them to show up. And if you've built a reputation that's not a good one, it's a bad one of maybe being a guy who's shady in certain areas, that's going to lead to having less and less trust. And I've experienced this with withholding early in my relationship with my wife. So I want to go over some things that you guys can be possibly doing and help you guys to resolve these things, just improve the trust in your relationship. So let's get into it. One of the things you guys can be doing that's definitely hurting trust, as I mentioned, is withholding. And that could be in the aspect of having a story that you're talking about, but you're leaving out certain information because of you being afraid of how it's going to make you seem. In my opinion, guys that definitely withhold are nice guys. And this happens when they say a story, but maybe they don't say the whole story. They leave certain parts out that they feel like they should have included, but they wanted to leave out so they didn't seem a certain type of way. I'd say that's what withholding is. And I feel like generally, if you kind of feel like, ooh, I should say this, but I don't want to say this, you're probably withholding. I'd say use your judgment and make sure that you're, of course, not being too critical of yourself, because you want to make sure that when you tell a story that you leave the important aspects and you don't change things just because you're afraid of how other people perceive you, right? So withholding is one way that you guys can be hurting the trust. The second way can be lack of clear communication. And what I mean is this: sometimes it gets lost in the sauce. And based on your partner, how they really receive information can be different. What I mean is this: it can be something as simple as saying like, hey, sounds good, I'll call you at 5. And when you say call you at 5, you mean I'll call you at like 5:10. But when they hear I'll call you at 5, they think you're gonna call right at 5 on the dot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm making a small thing really big because you do have to understand that people receive one thing you say in a different way. So based on how your partner receives things, if she's literally thinking homie's gonna call me, not homie, that you're gonna call her right at 5, she might be right around her phone and everything, and then you call her at 5:10, she's kind of like, oh, like now you're calling this, you know. Depending on the type of girl you have to adjust. And all I'm saying is that different relationships have different levels of communication. Some girls are more to the T with what you say, so you have to be more careful with your words. Some people are more laid back to where you can say something that means one thing, but they could understand you as, okay, they mean around that time. So just understand if your partner is someone who really looks at what you say, like, hey, this means this, therefore that's what it is. Or they're more along the lines of, well, they could probably mean this. Just how they think and being able to communicate in that way is what I'm talking about. That's the second thing that could certainly be hurting you. Third thing is your past. This one's not the funnest, but it's being real. If you have a bad past, it's gonna follow you. It doesn't mean that you can't outshine your bad past, but don't be surprised when people hear certain aspects of your past and they view you through a certain lens. Or not even they view you through a certain lens, but part of their perception of how they currently see you, the past influences. Because let's be honest, sometimes you look at people's past, they're able to tell their future. So you definitely want to make sure that if that's what the case is, that what you are doing, or you are making a clear distinction between who you were and who you are now. It doesn't mean you need to necessarily prove anything to anyone, but just make sure that the actions that you're actually having, the actual things that your life looks like now, does not represent who you were before. Because people make decisions to change and everyone needs that opportunity. And if your partner doesn't allow that to you, they're definitely not the person for you. But brothers, I hope you got value in this video. We went over a few key reasons that you might be not getting that trust you're looking for. It could be your past. It could be maybe you're being, falling to that nice guy tendency. But all I want to let you guys know is that trust is something that can be built and easily torn down. So if you're lying, obviously that's going to be something that's going to damage the trust. So please keep that in mind. And if you have a decision or a choice to make that can hurt the trust in a big way, probably not worth it. It never really is. So you guys take it easy. You guys stay blessed. Subscribe for more content and see you guys next time. Peace out.